Welcome to 52 Weeks of Hope. Okay, here's some lessons from 2022. Not in any particular order, but things I've jotted down that I've definitely learned over the course of the year, and I have a feeling you may relate. So number one is you can go without the news for a bit. I used to think I had to read the paper every single day. I know some people may be horrified. I just took a walk and I was talking to a friend of mine and she said, "Did you see in the New York Times?" Da, 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 da. Because most of my friends read the New York Times every day. And I'm one that reads the paper every day. And I discovered I can actually go without obsessively knowing the news every single day of the year. It's a revelation. I grew up knowing the news, watching the news, reading the news. As a lawyer, I feel like I have to know the local news and the California news and the national news. And I've discovered I don't. And I don't even feel very behind, which is another shock. And it's been really good for my soul, my psyche. Part of me is cringing at who's listening to this going, "You don't watch the news? How California of you?" Yeah, I don't watch the news. I stop watching it at night and it's just bad for my sleep. And you know what? It's made no difference in my life as far as being aware and informed. So there you have it. Yeah, how California of me or whatever, or how good for my soul. You can think of it however you want. I've discovered I can go without the news. So that is one of my revelations for 2022. And I should have learned this a while ago. I started on this path a couple of years ago, but I've really discovered it. I don't even have to read the paper every day. So that is one of my lessons from 2022. That's number one. Number two, you need joy in your life, some kind of joy. And sometimes it takes work, which seems counterintuitive. Wait, you need work to have joy in your life? Yeah. So what fills you up? What makes you happy? What fills you with joy? And take time for that. I have to actually calendar certain things that I like to do the most. And it could be just taking walks in nature, which is one of the things that really fills me with joy. I don't get down to the beach that much. I live in LA, but going and seeing the ocean and seeing the waves come in and out, I need to calendar that and schedule that. And it just makes me so happy. So what is it that brings you joy? I'm going to talk about friendship in a minute, but you have to have joy in your life, because the less joy, the more you're going to spiral into that negative mindset, and whatever we focus on grows. And it's really harder to stay in that positive mindset you can do anything you want in life, but it's harder to stay there and believe it and know it when you don't have any joy and nothing to look forward to. And it doesn't have to be the trip to Hawaii or the vacation here or going to see those great big events. It can be simple things. So schedule those in your day. You have to have something, especially to counteract any kind of negative. So what is it that fills you up and brings you joy? Think about what that is and make sure you're doing some of those each week, not just one. We need a few of those in our day. With everything going on, you just need those. They don't have to cost money. They can be simple. It can be playing with your dog or whatever animals you have, being in nature, just taking those deep breaths, whatever it is. I can give you a whole myriad of choices if you want. And I'll give you a bunch of choices of things that really do raise your vibrational level. So that's number two. Number three, lessons learned is to breathe. The number of times I've started doing these clarity and confidence boost sessions, and when I'm watching people, and you can watch them, they've stopped breathing while I'm talking to them. I can see it. Really clear steps and tools to take along their path to get to where they want to go, and they're holding their breath. And I don't think we even realize how much we hold our breath during the course of the day or the week. Breathe, really noticing our breath. Joey Klein gave the tool of breathing in to the count of 4, holding our breath to the count of 4, and breathing out to the count of 4, but really just concentrating on breathing in and breathing out and being really aware of your breathing. If you listen to some of these episodes where even a trauma counts, is if you're in a close car, you have to slam on your brakes on the freeway, that counts as a trauma, which shocked me. And that's when you go, anything like that, breathe, do a deep breath. Breath matters. It extends your life to do that kind of deep breathing. there's all these physiological benefits, which I like. And it also helps your memory, which is another thing that I really like. Anything that gives me memory gains, yeah, I'm there, and makes me happier, which it also does. It increases your happiness. It gives you physiological benefits. Yeah, breath. If you need a reason, there you go. And that'll probably go ahead and segue into giving you more joy. I don't know. I made that up just so you know, but common sense seems like it would. So take a breath, and you can do it right now. Just take a deep breath and then let it out. Breathe in love and breathe out all that anxiety or whatever it is that's bothering you. Just let it go. And do that slowly so you don't hyperventilate. That's what I was taught. So be very conscious of your breath. So that's definitely a lesson learned in 2022. Let it go. Number 4, don't have too much on your plate. The overwhelm is real. Watch the overwhelm. And I'm as guilty as the next one of this. This is why it's definitely been a lesson. I started all these things, which I'm doing a whole program on this, of being able to finish everything that we start. I know so many people that they buy this program and that program, and they get a 10th of the way through or a third of the way through or even halfway through, but they didn't finish any of these programs. So I've gotten very intentional, and I've got a whole way and it's so simple to get through all of these programs, but we don't do them all at once. And having too much on your plate, it's a killer. It's just a killer. There's no way it can all get done. And keeping life simple these days is the easiest way to accomplish what it is that you want to get done on your life path. So just being really clear and keeping things simple and just have 3 most important things you want to get done. Do them first thing, get them out of the way. And then anything else you get done in that day, it's a bonus. It's a bonus. You feel good. You're buoyed for the day. And yeah, that raises your vibrational level. And there you feel joy. And gratitude. Those are all high vibrational frequencies. So not putting too much on your plate keeps you from feeling that overwhelm, because the overwhelm is very much real. Okay, now we're getting to number 5 from lessons learned in 2022. Friendships matter. Put in the work. Episode 110. I was so glad I got to talk to Marissa Franco. I heard her TED Talk, and then she has a book on friendships as adults. I love that episode. I love talking to her. It's all about getting real, how to get friendships as adults. It's completely different. We're not in school anymore. If you're listening to this and you're in school, good for you. I love going back to school. I love any kind of education. Maybe you're making friends there, but I'm not in school right now. And she gave so many tips, and it's about finding common things and going to those events and actually putting yourself out there. I was just talking to somebody about this today. She talked about having a class. It's probably on friendships. I don't remember. She's a professor, and she has 2 identical classes at her university. And one class they've all gelled, they're tight. And the other class, nobody talks to each other. And she said the reason she finally realized is one of the classes has a social igniter. And that means that after class, there's one person who says, let's all go get something to eat. So it's one person that takes the initiative, and it's very inclusive. Everybody's invited. And the other class doesn't have that social igniter. And that one person has made the entire class gel and come together, and they're all buddies now. So be a social igniter and get out there. It means putting yourself out there, and we have to be vulnerable. And one thing I've learned definitely in the last couple of years is nobody's paying that much attention to you. So if you're worried, what will people think if I'm authentic and vulnerable? Nobody's paying attention. What will happen is you're going to make friends, and other people will be vulnerable in return. And I talk about it in that episode 110. That's how we make friends. And if you trust your instinct and your intuitive gut of who to be vulnerable with and what to disclose, then you'll be fine. And that's a good segue into number 6. It really is the moments. It's the moments that matter. It's the little things. It's not the big things. So treasure those moments. 2022 definitely brought that home. My father got sick and passed away suddenly. And I mean, you think, oh, but he was older. You should expect that. But I wasn't. He got COVID, but he was working 5 days a week. He was happy. And so I can treasure the moments. It wasn't just him. My friend's child passed away too, and got sick and passed away. Like, you don't expect these things. So I treasure the moments always. And there's no finish line here. So the things I'm working towards, I'm enjoying the process, because once you get there, and that's one of the questions I ask people when I interview them for the podcast. Do you celebrate your victories? Because once you get there, everybody's like, next, what am I going to do next? What am I doing next? So if you don't enjoy the process and then you get there and you're looking for, well, what am I going to do next? Then you're not enjoying any of it. It's all kind of a waste. I don't know if that made sense to you, but it made sense totally to me and it's in my head. So I'll repeat it slowly. If you're not enjoying the process and you're not enjoying something, the pinnacle, that moment when you get there, you're not enjoying anything. So slow down, breathe. See, that was one of the others, and enjoy the process and stay grateful that you're able to work towards a goal. And then each of those steps, because there's all kinds of incremental steps as you're trying to get to a goal, celebrate yourself. You're doing great. And even if you just see something that you want to go for and you start going for it, celebrate yourself for doing that and surround yourself with people that are going to say, that's amazing, you're going to do it. And when imposter syndrome comes up saying, who do you think you are? Going for that. Just know that it's fear. Thank it for sharing and keep going. So it's the moments, and celebrate them with other people and congratulate yourself. Look in the mirror and say, you've got this. You're doing great, because you are. And I'm going to go right into number 7, which is the cliches are the cliches for a reason. There's a reason that they say smell the roses, which is about it is the moment. Yeah, cliches are cliches for a reason. Just about what comes around goes around. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Laughter is the best medicine. Time heals all wounds. The whole what comes around goes around is the same thing. It's about karma. So treat people the way you want to be treated. There's a reason that there's cliches when life gives you lemons, and all that sort of thing. All's well that ends well, because everything really does work out. It just does. I don't know how or why, and it's never on my timetable, that's for sure. But it just always works out, which is a good segue to the very last one, which is to thine own self be true. And okay, this one isn't a lesson for 2022, but I really like it. And it never hurts to be reminded to just stay true to yourself. Don't do something because someone says, oh, you should really do something. Do this. I think it would be really good for you. No, you know what's right for you. And to go and ask all these different people, what do you think if I did this? Somebody's going to say yes. Somebody will say no. And if you're looking for a majority or whoever votes the most, you'll do it. No. You know what's right for you. Stay true to yourself. And like I said before, surround yourself with people that build you up and say, that's so great you're doing that. And that buoy you and make you feel great about what you're doing, or tell you the truth in a really loving, wonderful way. So you want people that support your dreams and support your life. That's what matters. So stay true to yourself. You know what's right for you, and live your truth. Stay on your path. And if you're not clear of what to do, ask the universe. I've talked about this a lot in the last few episodes, and also about in the episode why vulnerability matters. And that's how you get true to your own life path and clarity and the confidence to do what it is that you want to do, instead of that kind of the FOMO and seeing others doing what you wish you were doing yourself. You get to do whatever it is that you want to do in this life. You just do. So those are the lessons learned from 2022. I will go through them again really quick, but I'd love to hear what lessons that you've picked up. So I still cringe when I think about this. I just think, oh, what are people going to think about me? I still have that little piece of it in me. I can't help it. But you can go without the news for a bit. I'm not saying never, but that's one of the lessons that I've noticed. That number 2, you need joy in your life. Number 3, breathe. Number 4, don't have too much on your plate. The overwhelm is real. Number 5, friendships matter. Put in the work. It's worth it. Listen to episode 110, Marissa Franco. She's so good. Number 6, it really is the moments. Number 7, the cliches are cliches for a reason. And number 8, to thine own self be true. Have a listen to episode 108 about being your authentic self. It's right in the line with to thine own self be true. It's really good. You'll get a lot out of that one as well.